This program discusses the history of our calypso, from Canboulay to Carnival. Calypsonians Chalkdust, Pretender, and David Michael Rudder talk about the oral tradition of calypso.
So the first thing you ought to know is that the calypso has a history. Last year I had a nice reply to David Rudder on the press, and I was showing people that when you hear Rudder or you hear Chalkdust today or Pretender today, you must understand that this art form came way, way back and changed and people added to it, and the various persons made their contributions, 4 lines, 8 lines, until we have verse and chorus, different types of calypso, commentary, smut, etc., all types of calypso. And it is this that has made it a great art form. So the first thing you have to understand is that our art form today, many, many persons have contributed to that art form. And in saying so, we are very, very happy that we have people like Pretender still alive. I'm not wishing him death.
We always doing that.
Just about 2 weeks ago, we had a great man, Lord Spitfire, died. And every year we have a few of them going. They just died. And Pretender, thank God, is in good health. And as somebody just said, he's a living legend. Singing calypso since 1929, before some of your mothers were born and the fathers were born. And still around. And a man who began to sing calypso in short pants, he will tell you that. A man who began to sing calypso and when his prizes were pennies. Pennies, he used to collect a penny and glad to collect the penny. He'll tell you about it later on. And still on with us. A man whom we accredit as the master of extemporaneous singing. A man who it is said put extempo on any living thing alive. Because he has what is called, he carries with him that calypso art form. Why I'm saying so is that long ago, when you jumped into the tents, you had to learn the art. And Lord Pretender Aldric Farrell, who in 1972 was rewarded with that Medal of Merit by the government, certainly earned his art. I want to give you now, and I'm sure you're going to be happy to hear, the Lord Pretender.
It's here in the morning, I don't know where to start. Where to start? Well, I'll start from as far as I know. When I was a little fellow, and this fabrication from about 5-6 years, I found myself composing up the badges Soca. I was going to school, and we would play Newtown Boys or Grovian. If we win the match, instantly I would start to sing something here. You ever see more Western League down Grove before, and the whole school will be behind me. And in them days I talking about it. Singing calypso was, I know what crime to term it, a big crime, not a small one. In school, I used to be under the school beating and singing calypso. And I determined from that age that I have to be a calypsonian. I love calypso. I can remember when I was about 10 years old, they had a tent down by me, red-haired sailor. Now in those days, it wasn't like now. Every band used to make up some tent in the yard with bamboo and thing. And anybody could go and sing. Didn't have no contract and no special people singing. You just walk in any tent and you sing. And the tradition was once you proclaim yourself to be a calypsonian, you had to sing. And I used to go in this tent. And my grandmother tied hold me off the stage. And in them days, licks like peas. Laughing, Kiki. Yes. I can remember when I was 10 years old, singing with a friend named Candy Buchan. And One Eye Span, take your nose, the shopping. Now the One Eye Span I'll tell you about became one of the best calypsonians in the country, known as King Radio. In them days the name One Eye Span. Tin slim fella. And I sang look, it's ironic that I can't remember last year Calypso one. The Calypso, a voice or so from a long time, stick in the head. Because Calypso long time wasn't like now. Long time Calypso, right through the year you singing Calypso. I know with the radio and paper that didn't get the idea that Calypso had no season long time. But every week, theater or every night we are by the Savannah, by the white people place, singing. Yeah. And I could remember singing Chalky, this could sing now, 10 years old. Had a little girl by the name of Jane, who died recently at Oven Lane. Had a little girl by the name of Jane, who died recently at Oven Lane. She was so sweet, she used to dress so very neat, calling all the young boys when she walking in the street. But this is what she said before she passed away. Aldric, we meet resurrection day. 10 years old. And in them days, there was no mic, nobody knew mic. And imagine a little fella, 10 years old, in a squeaky voice. And you could hear a pin drop, and the people calling, Kaiso, Kaiso. I could remember at a time, I came in town. My mother, since I born, about 4 years old in New York. And she came back here for a little holiday. And I, in a tent in Nelson Street, like 1929, I'm afraid to say how old I is. I could chance it. 1929, at 12 years old. Only do I subtract too far. Boy, and I'm singing, I'm living fine, this 1929, no woman at all to disturb me mind. I'm living fine, this 1929, no woman at all to disturb me mind. For what the woman wants is just what I need, therefore on me they cannot succeed. For when you can't come up with the dough, they shock out your bundle and tell you go. That 1929, and my mother hold me off the stage, boy. Mother and my uncle and them say, I want to disgrace the family and whatnot. But look at that now, eh? See, nowadays now, I have a sister and a brother in New York, to every year they come for Carnival. I see my brother reading Attila's book, a book written by Attila, stated the facts and well, he wrote it. And when he read, they have me among the 12 all-time great. Tears come out the eyes. Oh God, they have you there too. See, you know, Chalky. And now he said, he helped pull me off, he little too, he helped hold me off the stage. Boy, play with life. You see where Kaiso come from? And the man who really give a little respect to Kaiso, Executor. Executor was a star walker. And in them days he was what called white. Called long time when you have a little color in Trinidad, you're white. And so he was white. He defied all odds and he go and sing Kaiso. After Executor came Attila, next white man. And it's really funny that these two men, Attila is half Negro. They know real Negro. And they're the two greatest calypsonians I feel ever, Attila and Executor. Attila go on to become deputy mayor and member of the legislature. And always they tell him, you see, you have to sing calypso. Yeah. You see the art and culture at Trinidad, and he had to sing it. I sing a time, 1934, with Douglas, the great railway Douglas, at two theatre, London and Olympic. That time was 6 pounds to go in. A 6 pounds to be 12 cents. And people sign up on people. So they pick up a little thing in them days. Big money now, them pick up in them days. And when the two shows over, Douglas said, boy, he shot me from pretender to He say, "Pretty boy, you will make a great, you will be one of the greats. Hold this. Buy a pack of cigarettes, 6 cents, 3 penny. You see how happy Rala, you see how lucky you is? 3 penny. 3 penny. And I so proud for this 3 penny. Not, in them days, you didn't care about the money so much, you know. Because in the tents, before, they used to pay nothing to go in the tent. Every tent is banned. Banned is like Stephen Leong, like how we have it now. Them have a yard with, and every night you have a calypsonian singing. Then they start to charge penny. Then 6 cents. Then Douglas, that's the man. Douglas, he opened the commercial tent. Railway Douglas. He had a band called Railway Millionaires. And he opened a tent in Henry Street. And he had some special singers. But you still, anybody could still walk in from anywhere and sing, because I can remember walking in the tent and they wouldn't let me sing, calling me short pants. And the executor said, "You cannot break the tradition. Let the boy sing. Hero!" The executor called everybody, "Hero, go and sing." But they can't if I execute them. And I march on the stage and sing. Boy, and the people love me too bad. People love me too. Little fella now. But I see they make one kind of big thing, but little children singing. I sing my own calypso, you know. Yeah, my own calypso I singing. And the people love pretty. And they tell me come, and every year going back, every year going back. I know big thing. And the beauty of me is, you know why I last in calypso? I was never the best calypsonian. They say best. Because long time I know star calypsonian. Long time all the calypsonian good. But they have a favorite. Lion was the favorite. When I first started to sing, Attila was just between Attila, Executor, and Railway Douglas. Some people say Attila, some people say Executor, some say Douglas. But in my book, boy, it hurted me to say it, but I think Executor was the greatest. Attila said so, Kitchener says so, and I say so. That man is something else. They had a crime, a set of crime in 1934. The calypso will remain in my head because I watched that man. New has opened disastrously with numerous crimes and catastrophe. The new has opened disastrously with numerous crimes and catastrophe. A child get mashed, a motor car crash, a girl get killed with a razor slash, the dynamite raw, the tragedies of 1934. Boy, man, the whole tent gone. I myself too, I see, but how this man making guys so? And the thing happened 2 days before, you know, an executor marching, I see him marching to their competition. And he know what the competition is all about. So he say, "Hero," so he call everybody. What is competition is about? He say, "Korea wine." He say, "Hand me the bottle." And he hand him the bottle, man. And he had a technicality of singing a run, like you would say. Now, honestly, if there is such a thing as honesty, modesty, I claim that. And say that Extempo, I don't feel nobody ever better than me. But Executor had a run that I myself used to say he win. Maybe he win, but Executor will say, "You find me fast, but there is a glass." What is that there? I see something looking like a, what it is? And look at the glass over there too, and Rudder singing down next to you, Chalky. "Boy, I love you, guitar, and I love you." And you have a run, look at the guitar in Chalky hand, let me make everybody to understand. Yeah, the calypso king by his side. Whatever he say, you have to abide. And Mrs. N2, girl in your yellow and black, I'll tell you as a matter of fact.
And tell Mrs. Stan if you help her look for that person.
Smart in calypso. Long time, I could sing smart here. Long time smart. We have people, you see people bowing their head. Douglas, here smart. I could sing it, you know, so. Why me neighbor vex with me, just because I wouldn't friend with ye? Why me neighbor vex with me, Just because I wouldn't friend with you, time too hard to talk people bad and I win Mr. Maynard. Just because I wouldn't take fault, so she want to put a knife in me throat. That's what long time. That is smart. Just saying she wouldn't friend with, I wouldn't friend with she. That is big smart. Now I hear men singing, help me God, I hear some song. Roll you this and roll you that. You could be that job. Long time you see you can't say, catch me tail, you can't say that long time in a calypso. Now that's come and play, you can't say that. And at night, an inspector, a big mustache man from England, Hall kitchen up, you see. Yeah, and he's an innocent fella, you know what he's saying, but he said, you might want a hat, but so and so for that. And he hauled him off the stage, and he stopped him from singing. Nowadays, you're getting Franco men smart. Now, as a calypsonian and as a human being, I like smart, but not the smart we're singing. You must be able to make the public think one way or the other. There must be room for argument. He ain't mean that, he mean this. He ain't mean that. But you can't come blatantly and sing these kind of things, but roll you this, and jam you that, and jam you. Now, if you want to think about jam, open a jam factory now, every year. Every year jam. Well, as far as calypso is concerned, people always tend to ask, but long time calypso and now calypso. Nowadays the music is terrific. And look funnily, I hear in some recording my record from long time. And the music annoying to me. And long time that music is sweet. It's a funny thing. Long time the music was over sweet. And now you're hearing it's real nonsense. But nowadays music plays the most important part in calypso. Because I already here. With this Soca. And next thing we will say about Soca and calypso. Soca is calypso. I know where I get the idea. Soca is definitely calypso. It's just a beat. You could take any long time song and the music could play soca. No, I don't sing soca. The music plays soca. So you could take any long time song and sing it at the beat. But what people tend to call chuchu soca is when the fella say one line and then the music play half hour and he sing the next line. I feel that the musician should get the praise now for calypso. Fella sing a line. Look at the glass on the table and the music gone. Then he sing the next line. And in the end now we come saying the same last line about 12 times. And look at the mic, and look at the mic, and look at the mic. I can't understand it at all. But long time calypso were lyrics. Look at the Calypso King competition now. They give 30 points for lyrics, 30 points for music, 20 points for edition. Long time was 50 points for lyrics, 30 for music, 10 for rendition, and 10 for presentation. That long time competition. The lyrics count. But nowadays they say that. Nowadays they have music and lyrics. But that puzzling to me because I know if a man had the best tune in the world, he would go on the stage and let the music play it and he just said, it's very puzzling to me. Lyrics is a calypso. And the next thing people understand too, the big hits on the record, like party song and thing. Most of the people who go in the tent, they come to listen. You have to sing things. That's why I say, Chalkdust go sing till you come and me too. Once you intend to sing calypso and listen, because what's happening now, happening since the Lion tried to change calypso to, Lion used to sing the same song business and all kind of thing. And eventually, Sparrow tried to change calypso too, gone, but you can't change calypso. Once you sing in calypso, you're safe. There was a great little calypsonian, what his name? Why said this boy could be our next giant in the field, designer. And he go move away from the calypso and he gone singing, what do they call it, talking? Crossback or crossover? Crossover. Well, a calypsonian, I like to advise the young, you have a right to cross over, but be careful and cross back. No, you're serious. You have to make your money for your recording and thing. You sing with people like, some of the people like it, they dance and all kind of thing. And you, for your American people, you sing your business. But always stick with your calypso. Since I saw you, same question I asked you now. And what do you think of the future of calypso? And what about calypso? What about calypso here forever? You can't move calypso. And any time I observe a fella make a big hit, he's ready to go back to calypso. I look David Rudder the last year. That Franco man calypso he sing. The real long time love way business. Yes. He tried to stray a little bit and innovate, but he had in calypso. That is he had in calypso. And when people talk, is the calypso we had the thing swinging. Where the hammer gone? A long time beat, long time melody. With a story, have a story. Once you calypso about the calypsonian, if you, anybody here is a potential calypsonian or intend to be a calypsonian, the first thing you have to learn in calypso making is you have to be a raconteur. Break it down for you. Yes, you have to be able to tell a story. And when you're making a calypso now, you make a calypso on the glass. Before you start to compose your calypso, you have to have your guidelines. First verse on this, second verse on the water, third verse on that. So you know you're seeing down the road and you're easy going down the road because from the top of the glass you go on to the center and you have a story going down the road. And if you say a glass, you don't fast come here, you don't stop at fast, you go down the alphabet now. A, B, C, until you find the most appropriate and sensible word to rhyme with glass. But I'm feeling nowadays they ain't making guys so. Every time they say glass and fast, they say look at the glass, it's fast, how a glass will be fast? No, you're laughing. No kind of fast a glass can be. It can't run. If it's that fast, you mean? And it ain't fresh. How you about it? They rude, how it fast? But with me now, and the sense of, you go down the line until you find the most appropriate word to rhyme with glass. It was no easy task for you to find the glass or some kind of thing. According to your story, if you had a different story, you say, this glass look very good. I'm looking at the glass, I wonder if it could last or something. Something with sense, so you have a story going down the road. But this fella knows how to start quite in the middle of the composition. And next fella make a verse, and the verse kill the whole calypso because the chorus is the song point of the calypso. And next thing to be calypso, and must listen, but be careful about it. Even once you sing in a calypso that is not road march, Extempo and road march, you have to change your chorus because you get monotonous to the people here. You be singing a calypso about. See, like you come here today and you're saying, I came here today to treat the children right, and it was my delight. I'm feeling happy in the company of my good friends David Rudder and Jockey. And now listen to your untimely interruption really spoil pretenders' concentration. I think it's time I wind up the business and let Rudder and Chalky say something. But before done, I would like to give you in song how I feel and what I really mean. Yeah. Go boy. A lot of people don't understand. I think. Try me, I'm going to get a beat here and then you take it. You give me that backbeat. That's the beat. True calypsonian. A lot of people don't understand where you call a true calypsonian. Plenty people don't understand where you call a true calypsonian. You hear a fella singing Portrait of Trinidad. This singer have the whole country going mad. He get all the fame and publicity, and his composer remained in obscurity. Ethiopia, I say Ethiopia, this thing has been going on year after year. You know that it's true, but what can I do but try and explain the facts to you? I admit the fella may be a good singer, but to be a calypsonian you must be a composer. Tackling any subject come to hand. To call yourself a true calypsonian. Lead, 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 do, do, die. Lead, do, 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 do. I know the facts you would like to hear, so let me make myself abundantly clear. I am not against the calypso singer. The fella have a right to work for a dollar, but I can't take them in a competition. Boasting and bragging how they is champion. Them judges picking them all the time. You know I forget the line, but I was in Ethiopia. This thing has been going on year after year. You know that it's true, but what can I do but try and explain the facts to you? I say a calypso king must be able to compose and sing. Then you could hold up your head as a man and call yourself a true calypsonian. La lo di li di di do do do. La da di li li lo 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 do. Friends, I wonder if you really know how hard it is to compose your own calypso. You have to get an idea, then a good composition with sweet music and proper rendition. After you finish all that, you're still not at ease. You have a demanding audience to please. You have to always come good by public demand to be accepted as a true calypsonian. So you see Ethiopia, this thing has been going on year after year. You know that it's true, but what can I do but try and explain the facts to you? These people always have me shedding tears. It's time they correct the state of affairs and always give credit to the man who you know is a true calypsonian. La la di 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 lo do lie. Di do do di 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 di. The motion song about pan in danger, but to me, that's only part of the picture. What I am saying is candid and true. Listen to what pretender telling you. I don't know what the hell happening in my brain, but I forget the whole verse again. I know everybody would understand. I prove I'm a true calypsonian.
The thing is that you have to come back to yourself at some point in your life, because calypso is you. You must look at yourself at some time. So there's no fear in that. As a matter of fact, I will even say that listening to other influences helped develop David Rudder. It helped develop David Rudder into what he is today. You know, these influences, it could be found in my music, yes, and other music that they hear today. But the key to really rising is to coming back to yourself. Like I said, coming back into your Caribbean belly. And the reason why, if you have heard the song, that I stress that word belly so strongly, is because that is where it is. It's not, the belly is just some symbolic word here. It means that it's down inside of here somewhere, inside of all of us. And the same way, I wish you could have seen yourself and seen your eyes when Pretender was talking. You were sort of like if you're hypnotized. In other words, maybe for some of you for the first time in your life, was seeing yourself. And I'd also like to say that I believe that 1970, which was a period some of you might have been very small and not even know what happened there. Well, 1970 was a very crucial time in Trinidad. There was talk about black power and revolution and social upheaval. But to me, 1970 was a point in time when Trinidadians of my age, my era especially, began to look at themselves. And as Chucky was pointing out, the beat of soca. Soca, to me, came about because of 1970. I always believe that, in the sense that we came from the era of the Four Tops and the Motown song and the whole American era as youths. And 1970 said to people, start to look at yourself now. And from that background, from the 60s, and the new grounding that you found in 70, that hybrid created, to me, soca. It was a vibrant Trinidadian coming out here now. A new, young, vibrant fella. But as they say, it is still the same old guy, so that's coming out in a different form, from that vibrancy from 1970. And I always believe that when people talk about the music change in 70 and was Shorty and Pelham and Ed Watson and things, I always believe that men have to implement the change, yes. But I believe that the era dictated that change in their minds in the first place. And it also, when I said it made men look at themselves, it not necessarily mean, well, black man look at yourself, or Indian man look at yourself. But Indian man look at black man look at Indian man too, because you find that if you look at the people who were instrumental in changing the music at that point in time, you look at the Pelham Goddards, you look at the maestros and the Shorty, they all grew up in heavy East Indian areas. Pelham was one of St. James' best Tassa men. Maestro and Shorty grew up in East Indian areas, and a lot of that input was also in soca. So I always believe that 1970 controlled their destiny more than the men themselves. And music will always change. It is changing every day. But like with David Rudder, it is not changing to cross over into someone else's world. We are crossing over back into ourselves. Bahia Gale was the message of looking back into yourself. Bahia Gale was saying the same thing as Stalin was saying in Morecambe. While Stalin was saying, the more they gun us down, the more of us will come. Bahia Gale was saying, the more they think that the Middle Passage has destroyed us, is the more we will show them that we're still together as one people. Don't matter if they divide us and throw some of us in Brazil, and throw some of us in the States, and throw some of us in Jamaica and Haiti and all over. We still have the same vibe, because when you go to these places and you understand, you watch the culture, you say, but wait now, I know that. You go to Haiti and they call it voodoo, and you come to Trinidad, they call it Shango, and you go to Brazil and they call it Candomblé, and you go to Cuba and they call it Santeria, same thing. So nothing is lost. They didn't change nothing at all, because it's rooted deep within our belly, as I say. Nothing is ever lost. And this is why, when I understand these things, I understand that I have no fear about the youths and Calypso, because I always know that once a man reaches a certain point in his life, and he has, at some point in your life, you have to look at yourself and say, hey, where are you going? You have to come to yourself. So you have no choice, you know? You have no choice at all. You must come to that. Also, I'd like to add too, that an important thing that affected my life in terms of coming to myself is, I worked in the tents. I worked among the greats in the business. Almost every Calypso record for the last 10 years you hear in the background is David Rudder singing. Blue Boy, Soca Baptist. The Baptist chant and Soca Baptist is David Rudder doing that. Not Blue Boy, it was Rudder. So, it means you can see the links coming right up the road where it's not something that's you just jump in just like that. You have to jump in at some time, because you have to jump into yourself at some time. But you also have to develop. And something hit me about 5 or 6 years ago. I knew about Calypso through the oral tradition, the songs that the old African tradition of telling a story. And this is one of the keys in Calypso, in that you go through the years, and you don't need a history book. If you want to know when King Edward abdicated the throne, you don't have to go and look in a history book and see, well, you just have to listen to when the Calypso sing about that. And you know the exact year and time that happened. You see, it's like oral history, right? And listening to all these calypsonians all over the years coming up, that tradition is being passed on. You mightn't even recognize it, but it's there registering in your brain all the time. And also, I also don't believe that the books can hurt, because I'll tell you something, that when I was introduced to Attila's book on Calypso about 5 years ago, by the bass player in our band, he said, read this. I know you, the man, would like to read this. He said, because when I read it, my life changed. And when I began to read the book, I realized what he was talking about. You know about things because it's like passing there all the time. You're hearing the drum, but you're not really following the beat. And then this book brought the beat straight to you. It says, look at the glorious past we have. A lot of you, I would like to advise each and every one of you here to try to get a copy of that book and start with that. There are many books, but start with that one. And you'll understand how great this music we have here is. How great this art we have here is. It will raise your paws, it will make you cry and all. You wouldn't believe, you wouldn't say, that is we history? How will you know that all the time? You know? And everything seems to sort of get, everything else around you seems to sort of get like irrelevant. It just starts to get irrelevant because you stand up firm on a rock now, because you know, you're drifting all about and you don't have a foundation. Now you know you have a foundation. You're sure about it now. So I'd like each and every one of you to try to get a copy of that book and start with that. You know, usually people say, well, how you're going down to school and tell them Toronto about Calypso and things. Them children want to know that. My easiest way to do that is always tell them, get that book and read it. You know? Since a lot of us do not have the tradition passed down to us orally, because a lot of the youths here don't now coming into Calypso, now coming to themselves. And I think that book can trigger off that movement towards finding yourself. And I don't think I could add any more than to what Pretender had said. You know, I just wanted to show from my viewpoint how I developed and how I am developing, because I have a lot to learn still and a lot to know about. And it's just like I'm saying, check yourself out when the time comes, and we all have to do it. And when it comes, you will understand how great you are. All right? Thank you.
I think what we could do, we can close on a nice note and ask Pretty to give us the benefits of a little extempo, and then we can all leave and have a nice lunch. So Pretty will close with a little extempo.
I think the onus is on me. Singapore extemporaneously. Listen to Pretty. This is a gift from the Almighty. Hear how the words come spontaneously, well couched so grammatically. It is a fact everybody know, I'm positively the genius of extempo. Children, to tell you this I must, you would rather 3D and Chalkdust. You had a great privilege. I really hope you gain some knowledge as regards our own culture, and take this tip from the Lord Pretender. No matter wherever you may go, I hope you tell the people about we Calypso.
Let me get one pretender.
Well, pretty boy, I see you singing Calypso for so, and you're making them children know. But down in the audience, you have commenter. You hear he want to come here and take you in war. The man so small, I don't know what happened to him. But I thought sure that you were going to kill him soon. And if you make a mistake, pretty boy, I ain't great, so I ain't no fake.
Change the tempo and change the key, cause I want to sing extemporaneously. But I'm paying tribute and not in war, you see. I'm paying tribute to the Lord Pretty. We also know him in Calypso as well. He's known by the name Mr. Aldric Farrell. And when it comes to singing extemporaneously, commenter cannot compete.
Thank you, my commenter, for the respect you give to Lord Pretender. Your singing was super fine. You ought to know he's a compatriot of mine. So anytime you want good entertainment, come and hear us both at CDC 10. A promising singer, it's understood.
I see that pretender boasting commenter, but how both of you are two great singers. But like all you respect me and Rudder, because we come from spectacular.
I pay respect to you and Rudder, who's seen you singing a spectacular. But we always give them a lash anytime spectacular and CDC clash. When I don't sing, the truth you must abide. Even Chalky does well and hide. Friends, I'll tell you something more. The come after I get about 6 and 4. The children, I think it is time to go. And I want you to know, it's evident that you are going to grieve, but it's quite obvious that we have to leave. I'm not trying to make you a fool. Chalky had to go and see about the school. And for me, I think it is best I had to go home for my lunchtime rest.
You're calling on me, but I couldn't last because I'm not in pretender class. I want you to know this man is a genius in calypso. I could do my little singing, I could do my little rhyme. I could jump up and move in time. But when you see come to calypso,
Master Extempo.